I'm going to go ahead and record too. Thank you for being here today, Mallory and Michael. Okay, so as a probationary employee, Mallory, KNEA has decided that it's going to be in the best interest to go ahead and end employment effective immediately. And so you have two options. If you would like to write a letter of resignation, we can accept that, or I have a letter explaining everything if not. If you would like a little bit of time to visit with Michael to let me know your decision, or I can give you the letter.
Sorry, I get the letter or I resign? Or I get the letter and then I can...
If you resign, and that's you giving something in writing, if the letter, then it would be terminating employment. So it will be your choice of which route you would like to take.
Okay. Her last evaluation was a strong evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if she's had a strong evaluation, why you would be moving to terminate.
Well, as a probationary employee, we don't need to, at this point, lay out all the reasons. So at this point, we're just going to move forward with the resignation / termination, whichever is determined here.
UniServ chair isn't here.
And we do have the co-employee status. Has this been run by her UniServ?
From talking with legal counsel, the termination piece, we will be informing as soon as the meeting is over.
Okay. When we had our discussion upstairs, we were talking kind of tertiary. I didn't expect this was going to be a termination meeting. I thought maybe this was just like, a verbal something.
I did give David a brief overview of, hey, just so you know, this came up, so that he was aware of what was said.
Yeah. I would think that with, the UniServ being a part of the hiring process, they should also be a part of the separation process. Are you saying that's not the case?
I'm saying that the way KNEA handles hiring, yes, we do include the UniServ to help with picking of the UniServ director, but when it comes ultimately to the decision making of the issues as such, it can be the importing that comes from direction of our legal counsel.
Sorry, I'm just trying to... Now we, as collectively as a union, we endorse progressive discipline, and in this case you're moving straight to separation without any type of progressive discipline. Is there a reason for that?
I'm going to say back to that at any point in time during the first 15 months we have the right to end the employment without having to go into further detail.
And you realize that we as an association advocate against school districts doing that exact same thing.
I understand what you're saying.
You see the clear hypocrisy there.
I may just also suggest that you may want time with your member to ask what conversations have taken place. That would be for her to report to you.
What do you mean, can I ask what you mean?
No, just if there have been conversations at all that have taken place with you, that would be your right to share with him.
You mean coaching me or giving me how to improve in my job, or what do you mean by
Anything. anything, when you bring up a member situation, that type of thing. So
Conversations with whom? I'm sorry, I'm not understanding.
it could be anybody. And I don't know, I haven't been here.
You want
I'm
Mike
just,
to talk to me about conversations I've had with anybody about anything?
no, I'm saying if at any point something has been brought to your attention as a concern or something to work on or anything with that, that would be your, you to talk with Mike about that. That's why I'm saying if you wanted us to leave this space for a minute, that we're happy to do that.
Well, I'm confused.
Since Mike's not your mentor, there may be things that you have discussed with your mentor that may be good for Mike to be aware of as you decide the next step, if it's going to be me handing you the letter or if it's going to be the resignation.
Is there a timeline?
Today, I may know within the next 15 minutes.
That's really unusual. Even as a probationary employee, immediate terminations.
Typically, immediate termination is reserved for some sort of an egregious violation. That's why I was asking, and that you're not saying anything about it. I can't see where there's an egregious violation. We talked before, didn't know of any egregious violations, and you're not saying anything. And also, this comes on the heels of her informing Mike that she's wanting to turn in some stuff and have a discussion about ADA issues.
Yeah, also, I was the only probationary member who participated in, making a witness impact statement for our grievance, and that feels really I've had so few interactions with anybody in this building, and I have glowing evaluation feedback, strong relationships with my locals, so I would like to know why I'm being terminated without notice.
The 15-minute deadline is really short.
Mm-hmm.
How much wiggle room do we have to extend that? Because this is a bigger conversation than 15 minutes.
As you can imagine, there's quite a few things on the office side, or I should say management side, that also will have to take place after the next steps. And so that's why we have a timeline. What's your thoughts?
No, I agree with that kind of stuff. I'll be forthcoming. Whenever there's a situation where there's an employee who is being terminated and stuff, the concern is always, are they going to send out an email to everybody? Are they going to access any of our data? Any of that kind of stuff. There's always a concern with that, and that's regardless of any reason that somebody is actually terminated. So it doesn't have to be. It could really be any reason, and so that's part of the thought process in that. With working with legal and stuff, is that if the employment is ended, then we also need to end access to what someone who is employed would have.
Okay. You probably need to hear this from Mallory, but I'm going to say it and then she can confirm it. Mm-hmm. In the contract, I can't find anywhere where it says you have the right to fire somebody without notice and fire somebody without cause. In fact, it does lay out why you can terminate employment. It says failure to achieve the competent level for all essential skills or failure to perform satisfactory on other job components may lead to termination of employment.
Thank you for pausing.
No problem.
Continue.
Page 27.
Mm-hmm.
So it is in the subheading section B, growth and development for probationary employees.
Are you the
Second
newest
bullet
contract?
point.
This page 27 is
Or-
Article 14.
Yeah, it might be off, but this didn't change in the last one.
I know, which article you in though?
Oh, so growth and development cycle for probationary employee evaluation. I forgot we added to it. I opened up the wrong contract.
No, you're good.
But I know that part of it didn't change.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's under the prior to 15 months section. Failure to achieve the competent level for all essential skills and or failure to perform satisfactory on other job components may lead to termination of employment. Her last evaluation was glowing, and we have no record of failure to complete other job components.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm just looking at
You're
all
fine.
mine, mine's all marked up, so.
Mm-hmm. Back to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I know what I'm looking for, but I'm not seeing it.
Okay, remember where is that?
It's right above where the bullets start.
Yeah.
I cannot stress enough how much I dislike a dirty
Okay, yeah, it'd be easier to, you can type line.
Article 21, second paragraph, page 38 of the newest contract.
You said Article 21?
Correct. Discipline and discharge, second paragraph. During the probation period, all rights and privileges conferred in the agreement apply to such employees except the right to appeal discipline and discharge to arbitration. An employee has the right to resign at any time during the period of probation.
Can we have a couple more minutes, please?
Yep.
Okay, so the decision that we had just discussed is to ask for an extension of 24 hours so that we have an opportunity to do as you have done and speak to legal counsel and use that to inform the decision-making process.
I think we're pretty clear on what the next step is. Do you want to step out for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. So at this time, we do know that you've already contacted at least one member because we did receive a phone call. So I'm going to say, okay, we are going to go ahead and move forward with the termination or the resignation. What I will say is, because it was not mentioned earlier, is that either way that you decide, it will be, KNEA will pay for your insurance through the end of August. And then we'll pay out all the vacation days that you haven't used.
You said that's either way.
Either way.
Okay.
So no to the 24 hours
Correct.
to consult legal counsel or work with my union or think.
You're saying it's a now decision?
Mhm.
Okay. And then assuming this goes through and it ends up in a resignation or a termination and she's no longer a KNEA employee, if she were to move back into the classroom, then insurance would not take effect until probably September or October. Is extending that to September or October a possibility?
The August 31st date should take care of her if it starts in September.
Most districts should go just until September 1 for insurance to kick in. If the need arises for the one additional month, we can have a conversation. There would be things such as, COBRA, but actually that costs a lot more. So I'm more than willing to have a conversation if that does come about.
Okay.
I'm not interested in resigning from my job.
Okay. Here's your letter. We'll need you to turn over any KNEA owned equipment and keys, Bob, where you leave the building,
I don't
and computer.
have my computer with me. I have my personal computer. My work one is at the ERO.
Okay. And then, as the letter states, I know you haven't seen the letter yet, you can work through me and Tammy to go find a time for you to be able to get your things out of the ERO.
Give him a minute too, so Mike gets just a chance to read it too.
Man.
Yes, please.
questions at the moment that we are able to answer. I understand there were things we were not able to go into detail.
Everything else I have is commentary, and I'll have that conversation with you separately.
Okay. Tammy, are you available to figure out a time with Mallory, or do you want to reach out after a while? Or do you want to work through Mike to find time for the ERO?
Why don't you work with Mike, and then you can just touch base with me, whatever's convenient, we can figure out.
Is there a timeline?
For cleaning out the there's definitely some flexibility. Based
Whatever's the
on
most comfortable timeline too, because it
Yeah.
might be more comfortable on a Saturday, it may be whatever we need to arrange, but you guys can kind of put together an idea and then let me know.
I will need to set up an appointment with you, probably by Zoom, I'm assuming.